So, hello everyone. Thanks for joining for today's interview. Our guest today is Howard Lee, an investment partner at Infinity Labs. So, hello Howard. How are you feeling today?
Well, pretty good. Thanks for having me.
Okay, great. So, I think we'll rather start with the basics. So, my first question of today, tell us about your crypto journey. So, how did you start with that, and what sparked your interest in investing in crypto?
Yeah, so I started my crypto journey back in high school. Was that 2017? Started purchasing Bitcoin and also Ethereum in high school, and then play with some mining gigs at home, and
That's
that's
nice.
how my journey started. And professionally, really enter into the crypto world is 1.5 years ago. Starting a company in the crypto space, specifically in the institutional custody space, and grew the company right now to 50 clients, and some of the top brands in crypto uses us.
Mhm.
And right now, I'm starting something new called the DOF network, which is the privacy-enabled social login for wallet providers out there. So right now we have about 40 ecosystem partner that are currently using DOF
Great.
network, and committed to become one of the DOF network's node provider. So this is my entrepreneurial journey in crypto. Along the side with investing, I'm also an investment partner at the Infinity Labs, and we
Yeah.
invest in a couple different cool deals like I believe Republic and a lot of projects in the Polkadot ecosystem. So overall, I would say the experience of investing in crypto asset was super interesting, and was able to help me understand the future of this industry a little bit better each time when I look at new projects and new projects spin out. And that's the very interesting part, I would say.
So you are into investment part right now.
Right now, investing is not really like a full-time thing for
Mhm.
me, honestly. But I put most of my time into starting my own company. That's how I feel the most value I can contribute to the industry. Because when you invest, there's a lot of money out there that
Yeah.
can also invest too, right? What makes your money more valuable than other people's money, right?
Yeah.
And the important thing is whether you can provide resources to be able to help this crypto startup is very important, I would say, important leverage that you can bring into the different Web3 startups out there.
Mhm.
So I would say I dedicate most of my time right now in starting my own crypto startup.
Mhm. So is it hard for you to handle both these things, like starting your own crypto startup and investing? So how do you separate that?
No, I do not. I do not separate that.
Ah,
The
okay.
reason why is, my in my day-to-day job, I'm responsible for business development for
Mhm.
my own company. So in business development, we always meet the different startups or ecosystem partner out there, and we wanna help them and support them. And sometimes that support could be financially or bringing them resources. So if I see a very interesting project, we tend to find resources to help them and see if my fund can also invest in that startup. So I wouldn't say I'm actually had a hard balance for both of the time, but I would say it's pretty easy given that
Mm.
my responsibility of both of the company,
So it's combined together, like.
yeah, combined together.
Okay. So speaking about investment, so what factors do you consider when evaluating the potential of cryptocurrency investment? I mean,
Invest.
factors like what information do you assess before making an investment?
Okay, so yeah, factors. First of all, I think most importantly is the team, because for most of the crypto project, it's very early stage, and
Yeah,
you will see projects go from zero to one in 3 months, right? You
of
always
course.
see that happen. And the most important thing is the team, but not the business model, because everything changes, right? You
Right.
sleep, but the Bitcoin prices change it, Ethereum prices change it 24 hours a day. You want to bet on a team that you feel like they can do it, right? And with that, my metric is about founders market fit, whether this team is a good fit for the problem that they're solving. That's a very important thing for me to assess. Second tends to be the market size. For most of the VC out there, they tend to look at whether or not there's another VC will invest in the another round after they invest, so they can get some markup for the valuation, right? So that's very important, right? When we look at the different angle that we want to invest in. A lot of VC right now tends to invest in infrastructure, right?
Yeah.
And that's something that I really look at, and that's something that sparked my interest. But oftentimes, what I feel like is a lot of VC funds, if you're not a popular one, right, it's hard to get into some of those infrastructure deals. So there's also a challenge of that as well.
My next question is, how do you manage the risks associated with investing in crypto?
It is a risky industry, right?
Yeah,
It is a
indeed.
risky industry because we're new. So I think the biggest risk with that is on the people, right?
Okay.
I tend to invest into the people that I know and I trust, right? But it's hard to invest into somebody that I don't know anything about, right? So I think the biggest risk in crypto is really projects rug pull. I believe if you keep building this industry, there's gotta be you gotta see fruition, right? Because the way that this crypto startup scene looks like is very different from traditional investing, right? Traditional investing, you wait like 10 years to get an exit, but for crypto, we're talking about something in a year or two, right? So it's totally different for what I see.
Okay, but what measures do you take to ensure that your crypto investments are secure?
Due diligence,
Mhm.
right? So that's the measure I would take to make sure my crypto, because I don't invest in the secondary market, right?
Yeah.
I only invest in the primary market, and the most important thing is to look at the team, assess the team, and make sure I have my due diligence correct, right? That would be the mechanism that would protect me from, because once I make an investment, I cannot tell them that I want the money back, right? So I have to do my homework and do as much due diligence as possible.
And do you personally meet with these people who work with projects like VCs or maybe founders, or you just connect with them remotely and speaking on some kind of forums?
Yeah, I do meet with them. But right now, since everyone is working remotely and they're all over the world, it's hard.
Yeah.
But I do try to meet with them in conferences, and if they're in the Bay Area or whatnot.
Whether any unsuccessful cases or investments that led to you. So like, for example, you meet with some kind of people, firstly you trust them, but turns out that they are like a rug pull project, or maybe, they lose your trust. So did that happen?
No.
No? So you're a pretty successful guy.
Luckily, I haven't experienced anything like that yet. I think it's just the people I surround myself with.
And that's great.
High caliber people. And if you're at because for me, I tend to invest in founder with track record and with good reputation, right? Also, they have a very high caliber background and they don't want to ruin that, right? So I haven't experienced that.
That's so lucky to hear. I started with the downer, but maybe I should ask about your successful crypto investment. So what is the most successful case for you, for example? Can you share that?
Yeah,
Or
there is a couple, but I would say I won't name it, but I
yeah,
would
of
say one
course,
of the most successful
just
one would
hint, for
be
example.
the decentralized storage in the Polkadot ecosystem. That would
Hmm.
be the most successful one we had. That would be those. Any sort of failure or bad ones, I don't think there's anyone.
That's so great,
They're
actually.
all
You're
pretty
so
good. They're
lucky with
still
that.
building in the crypto in the bear market. So I think that's I wouldn't consider it as a failure at all. Yeah.
But even though, how do you address concerns about like fraudulent or scam projects around crypto space because they negatively affect the investments and many people fall for that? So how do you cope with that to avoid all that stuff? And maybe some advice for those who like invest in your prop level. So what would you give?
Yeah, I would say, the biggest protection is to make sure your due diligence is correct, right?
Hmm.
And that will be my best advice to prevent the scam project, because they do affect the industry as a whole, right? Like for example, FTX, right? They like how SBF or like Sam did it was he forced he tried to he won't give any time to the VCs, time to do the due diligence, right? He
Hmm.
always say that you gotta wire the money tomorrow, right? Something like that. So I mean, the industry is learning, and a lot of VC are pretty hard on their due diligence, right? What is before in the bull market, people will wire money right away, right? Right now they have to do like 10 rounds of like interviews or
Yeah.
10 rounds of talking to the teams. Just make sure you do the due diligence correct.
Because certainly there is a lot of market turbulence in crypto, especially right now. So how did that affect you? Because you are in crypto for maybe so long, you have experienced a lot of like ups and downs to that. So how did that affect your approach to investment? Because sometimes it's not, well, it's not obviously always a successful trade or successful investment, even though you did like, for example, a thorough due diligence, sorry, but well, maybe a market turns out to be like in very bad shape. So how do you cope with that?
Diversify, right? That's the
Yeah.
that's the thing, right? We haven't really invested in projects during the bull market. We usually look at projects during the bear market.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah,
good,
that's
right?
interesting. Yeah,
You get better valuation
that's the
during
best
that
time
time.
to study.
It's the best time to study, and the most important thing is diversify, right? Because venture capital is a number game, right? If you look at all the statistics, like one investment will bring all the entire portfolio value, right?
Yeah.
One successful investment, that's the thing that you have to bet on. So I always say, like, you gotta catch one unicorn, right? For the
Yeah,
entire
so
portfolio.
one
So,
thing that will
so
cover all your
you gotta
losses
diversify.
time. Yeah.
So it's all math. It's all around statistic.
Hmm. Yeah, that's kind of wise, I say. So
Mhm.
I like your answer. But anyways, how do you address concerns about the potential for cryptocurrency to experience a widespread market crash, or sometimes crypto is called like a bubble? So what do you say about that?
Yeah, those exist, right? But
Of
we're here
course.
for the long game, right? Like
Hmm.
crypto crash, that's the secondary market. It's hard. The hard thing is to buy into the fear, right? During the fear, can you still buy in to the
Hmm.
crypto story, right? Uh, it's hard. It's very hard to do that. And people who did it, they became very successful, right?
Yeah.
But I would say venture capital is for the long game, and this is the business that we're in.
So serious investors do consider crypto a a thing in investment field.
Not only a thing, but the serious investor, they would think about rather than just being a follower, right? They
Mhm.
do tend to think about what will be the future of this industry, right? Right now, the biggest problem that we're facing is that a lot of the tokenomic designs, or how these Web3 companies are designed, they're not designed to generate value a
Mhm.
lot of the time, right? we can see that who is really paying for this token economic, or if there's a viable business model. This is something that we're always thinking about. And right now with artificial intelligence, is that what we can see is artificial intelligence, what it change efficiency, right?
Mhm. Yeah,
For the crypto industry. So what if we can think about bringing those efficiency, because those efficiency are really generating monetary value, right? What if we can bring those and combine those with Web3, the idea of AI and Web3 combined together, so you can bring the benefit of AI and it becomes part of your token economics,
of course.
right? Those are something that we're thinking about, and I think responsible investors are thinking about that as well, right? How can we break the cycle? How can we onboard the next billion users, not only in the way that they come in, try to make money in the market, but or try to be opportunists, try to be a zero-sum game, right? How can this be a viable, a sustainable token economic model? That's always the question that I'm thinking in the industry. And I think it's a very important one to address.
What are other risks and maybe challenges for crypto/investment side in the coming future?
The biggest challenge I would say is whether crypto can drive adoption, as much adoption as possible. Because right now what I see is, people are still revolves in this small circle of people, and that is a concerning problem, because I see that many of the users are not real users, right? They're here to try to make money.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Trading NFT, this and that. They're not here to try to use the technology or being benefited by blockchain. So I would say the most important thing is not about if I can get into a top tier exchange. It's more about if we can really bring the benefits of Web3 to the Web2 people, right? Such as fairness, right? Verifiability, trustless, all these principles. How can we bring all these principles to all the Web2 people? We show all these benefits to the Web2 people rather than just being a financial product.
So what do you say about the criticism that, for example, crypto is a speculative thing and has no intrinsic value and will die in like a couple of years, maybe decade? Will that happen?
Yeah, that's a narrative I hear many years ago already. A lot of people claim that crypto is just
it was almost a decade actually, and crypto turned out to be a thing, a real something, like 5 years ago, maybe 6 in my opinion. It's still kind of really young in that realm, because if you look at traditional investments, it has 100 years or maybe a lot more, but crypto is a very young thing, and many think that it will likely die. But I see that others are also excited about that. But what was you?
I won't say crypto will die. Crypto, if will die, it will change to another form, right? It won't die because the people are still here to build. So I don't think crypto will die.
Well, not die, but
the only thing is crypto will change its format, right? Exist, right? In a way that you like the Web1 protocols, right? Did the Web1 protocol die? They did not die. The Web1 protocol changed their format to be the underlying layer that you don't see when you browsing the Web2 internet, right? So Web3 will not die, right? Web3, if it will die, it will only become another form. When you see Web4, for example, you will not see which chain you're using, right? Web4 is not about which chain that you will use. It's about being benefited by Web3 technologies, and you don't see the existence of Web3 technology. And I think you don't have to feel the existence of Web3 technology at that time. So I think that could be the future about how Web3 goes. So many users are seamlessly coming to Web3 without them even knowing it.
So people won't lose trust in crypto, because basically it's all about trust.
It's already a trustless platform, right?
Yeah,
how it's designed. So they don't have to trust anyone in theory, right? Because they only have to trust the code.
yeah,
But
that's
all that thing, if you say crypto might die, I won't say crypto would die, but it will only be like you won't feel its existence because it's already embedded into every parts of our life.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how can a thing lose trust if it's already trustless, and you basically you cannot trust a code? My next question is rather a personal one. So, how do you handle the emotional side of investment and aspect in crypto, particularly during the turbulence time?
How do I, go to the gym, go to the gym, be more happy. The emotional thing is,
Is it stressful for you?
is this stressful for me?
Yeah.
No,
No,
not at all.
that's
Why?
great.
I don't feel very stressful, right? Because
Mhm.
I'm here for the long game, and I don't trade in the secondary market where if like a 100x margin or whatever had a margin call, or in the secondary market is a long-term game for the venture capital world, right? So
Yeah.
doesn't tend to feel very stressed about it.
So I wonder how long is that? For what run you're aiming at? Maybe 5 years or 10 years. So
5 to 6 years, yes, I would say 5 to 6 years.
okay.
Yeah, but it's a career that I would not just easily change, right?
Yeah,
It's
that's
not a career.
interesting. Yeah. How do you stay updated about the latest developments and trends in the crypto industry?
Read more news.
Mhm. People always say that it's better to, see the emerging trend early and make an investment and so on, rather than, jump on the leaving
Yeah.
train and
So
just.
those kind of things that you have to talk to the entrepreneur, because they would know better than you are as
Mhm.
an investor, because they would know the trend better than you are, and it's important to identify those trends
So do
and
you feel that, line?
talk to the people in your industry. And the most important thing is talk to the entrepreneur, because they will figure out new ways, or new category, right? For example, for my company, the Off Network, we are a category defining company, and
Mhm.
this is why many VC, they could not understand what we're building. It's usual for them to not understand what we're building, because we are defining a category, right? When you define category, not everyone needs to understand, or not everyone can understand. So for many of the companies, if you cannot understand what they're building, they might be crazy. They might be changing a category. They might be defining a category, right? Whether or not they're crazy or they're category defining, right? You cannot ignore them,
Yeah.
because those are the companies that would change the world.
Okay. I think that's kind of nice, to see that, spark in some project and then, spot it before anybody can do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think my last question for you, because I think we really have a nice talk, but last question for today is for beginners, for newbies, for example, who are here to invest but don't know how first. So what advice do you give for someone new for that crypto investing thing?
My advice is to not invest, because it's a very hard thing to do. So my advice is not to invest, but to
Well, you
be able to
started
make
it.
sure you understand what it is before you do, right? So not here to give any investment advices, but the important thing is to be able to learn about this industry, know about industries, talk to the projects that are really building
Mhm.
building building talk to the founder of the projects that are building the projects, right?
So
So
build
talk to them,
connections, basically.
if they're, yeah, build connection, talk to them. You know, I would say that's the best angle to come in. Investing.
Mhm.
God, it's a layer one, layer two, or you invest in a secondary market. You want to understand, what these projects are going for, right?
So what I see here in investing is that communication is the key. not money, not all like stuff like study, but communication, not just talking to people, see some trend, spotting, hitting social media.
Exactly.
That's
Communication, comes in many different forms, not just look at the news, just many things, you have different channels receiving information, just getting all those information from different channels, talk to people, those are different channels. And I think communication is the key.
Mhm.
To be able to
Yeah,
practice.
communication and information is definitely key here. Yeah,
Exactly.
that's a good line to conclude our interview. Thanks, Howard. It was super nice to talk with you. I think we have a great interview today. Just to remind you guys, Howard Lee, investment partner at Infinity Labs. Thanks, everyone, for joining, and see you soon today.
Thank you.